Lights out, old friend.
Kung Fu, or Gong Fu, means mastery through practice. But is one life enough to know Kung Fu? In Sifu, we wanted players to experience training and self-improvement. To convey that, we've made death part of the journey. Through the use of an ancient pendant, players have the opportunity to rise up through death, but it comes at a cost. Each time you get back up, you will age. When encountering a challenging situation, it allows players to try again and to adapt and learn. Death is the opportunity for players to spend their experience points on skills and unlock new ways of tackling their opposition. While that may give you a sense of invulnerability at first, it won't last. The more you die, the faster you'll age. Your life energy is limited, and you will pay for each mistake. Past a certain age, your pendant will not save you anymore. That last death will be the final one. A useful tool that will outlast your demise. The detective board will keep track of all the information you've gathered on your 5 targets and their respective lairs. Should time catch up with you before you reach the end of your quest, it will help you get back on track with key information about hidden weapons and shortcuts. It will help you achieve your revenge, but it won't replace training and practice. Do you have what it takes to know Kung Fu? In Sifu, you will need to quickly learn how to defend yourself. With the right timing, you can parry incoming blows, allowing you to stop your enemies and counterattack, or to throw them away in any direction. Some strikes will be too strong to block or deflect, and you will need to evade the blows. You can lean and duck to avoid high attacks, and jump to avoid low hits. Your best defense remains to strike first, with a panel of attacks and techniques with different properties, such as pushbacks, knockdowns, or stuns. Your attacks will decrease the balance of your opponent, even if they block your strikes. Parrying their attacks will also impact their balance. Once you have broken the guard of your opponents, you can finish them off with a powerful takedown. On the other hand, your enemy's attacks will also impact your own balance. Avoiding hits is an efficient way to quickly recover. In Sifu, the environment is an opportunity, allowing you to improvise and adapt to each situation. Create space to avoid being surrounded. Use everything at your disposal to prevail. Furniture, makeshift weapons, or anything that your enemies bring to the fight. Finally, if you find yourself with your back against the wall, focus is a powerful tool. It builds up as you fight and allows you to deliver precise and devastating blows. Do you have what it takes to know Kung Fu?
Hey everyone, we are excited to give you a closer look at Rainbow Six Extraction. In this co-op PvE experience, elite Rainbow Six operators take on a new terror, the Archaeans. Whether you go it alone or in a squad of 3, no incursion is ever the same. Dynamic variables change every time you enter a map, so you'll need strong team strategy and communication to make it out alive. You choose from 18 elite operators, each with their own unique abilities, progression paths, playstyles, and customization options. Build the right team to complete your mission with over 800 possible squad combinations. Create new entry points with Habana's sticky explosives, or find cover using Capitão's smokescreen. And yes, Tachanka's mounted LMG is back. The alien threat has resurfaced in San Francisco, New Mexico, Alaska, and New York. These 4 regions host 12 large-scale environments, all at least 3 times bigger than most Rainbow Six Siege maps. You'll fight through ruined casinos and hotels, overrun research centers, and a ravaged Liberty Island, with objectives, enemies, and modifiers that change with each playthrough. You'll need to adapt your strategy to each of the 13 high-stakes mission types that await you. Lure an Archaean into a high-tech trap to capture it alive, or destroy contaminated nests and extract intel. If an operator falls behind enemy lines and fails to extract, they go MIA. Your team will have to re-enter the containment zone and go all or nothing to earn back your fallen operator, along with all their valuable gear and upgrades.
React Medical will take it from here.
React Tech brings a new arsenal of weaponry and gadgets to give you a tactical advantage. Pinned down by multiple enemies, the field wall will block any parasite projectiles unleashed in your direction. Being charged face on, glue grenades will temporarily slow down the parasite's movements. Racing to safety after a botched mission, the React laser will destroy any black sprawl in your path. With 25 different types of gadgets and over 65 custom-designed weapons, how you decide to strategically engage the enemy is entirely up to you. Consuming the environments, a variety of parasitic threats deliver challenging and unpredictable gameplay moments. These 13 diverse and lethal enemy types have their own abilities and randomly occurring mutations, leading to intense, one-of-a-kind engagements. As you progress, you'll come to face the most dangerous enemies in the game, the Proteans. These parasites mimic our operator's form and DNA in a shocking and deadly fashion. Every time you complete an objective, your squad must make a difficult decision. Extract to bank your progress, or push to the next zone to face tougher enemies, uncover new intel, and earn greater rewards. But be warned, risking it all could have deadly consequences.
We have an operator in stasis.
Completing objectives allows you to advance your operator's gear, weaponry, and abilities in an entirely new way. Whether you're upgrading Sledge's hammer to stun tougher enemies, or leveling up Vigil to cloak your entire squad, who you choose to progress is completely in your hands. With each new milestone, you also gain access to permanent unlocks like maps, operators, gadgets, and lore, as well as higher difficulty levels and new cosmetics. With free post-launch content and game-changing thematic events, plus a ranked mode for competitive players, we can't wait for you to experience exactly why your team is your greatest weapon.
Wait! My crystal. It's her.
When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. I'm Neon. And I only count 3 of you.
Deliver this world from the clutches of darkness.
For what it's worth, you four don't look like easy pickings.
This land is home to 4 crystals. Fire, wind, water, and earth. The darkness corrupting them causes fires to rage, winds to die, seas to languish, and earth to decay. The people are lost, and scarce little light remains in their hearts.
Right. So you want us to do something about the darkness clouding the crystals.
There! What are you? Answer me!
I couldn't. I know its name. Tiamat.
Then come and meet your fate. Your foolish journey ends here.
He's out there. I can feel him. I just have to keep looking.
May the crystal's blessing be with you, always. I never asked your name.
Garland. My name's Jack Garland.
How long was I in that crypt?
I know where the sun rises.
No more than a few centuries.
Centuries? And what of Lilith?
Fallen by your hand.
And I know where the sun sets.
Until now. You were... missed.
Whatever caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you.
I know where the sun rises.
We got a lot of work to
I
do.
know where the sun sets.
Of course. Caretaker has reformed the Midnight Suns.
I know where the sun rises.
About time.
You're a Midnight Sun now. One of us.
Let's go, bub.
I know where the sun rises. I know where the sun sets. break a sweat. 'Cause I know where the sun rises.
The tarnished will soon return, guided by grace once lost. The Golden Order is broken to its core.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition. Someone must extinguish thy flame.
They will fight, and they will die. In an unending curse. For how else is a champion or a lord to be born?
Lowly tarnished, playing as a lord. I command thee now!
Brandish the Elden Ring. For all of us.
Beyond Reichland, Ostermark, and the reach of the Empire stands a frozen bulwark. Kislev, a fractured kingdom besieged from within and without by enemies of ideology and chaos. Tsarina Katerin, daughter of Tsar Boris the Beloved, rules from the peaks of the Boka Palace in the city of Kislev. The Ice Queen must lean heavily on her ice court if she means to bring order and security to these turbulent lands. But there are those who do not approve of Katerin's reign and would sooner see themselves in power. It's from Castle Alexandrinov, stronghold of the Great Orthodoxy and seat of Supreme Patriarch Kostaltin, that the Tsarina faces the most immediate threat to her rule. These two Kislevite figureheads vie for the people's devotion, so they might employ powerful boons from their pantheon of gods.
Further north, between the northern and eastern oblasts, stands the Cursed City. Prague is the bastion of the north, a title earned through blood, corruption, and endless siege. A dying, tainted beast thrashing against the inevitability of its fate. In the east, far from Kislev's frosty plains, loom the deadly mountains of Morn. Here, ogres and other merciless beasts make their home, though none more awe-inspiring than the deified Firemouth volcano, from which magic-wielding ogres known as Firebellies draw their considerable power. Winding ivory road, the Great Hall of Greasus can be smelt before seen. Inside, Greasus Goldtooth the Over-Tyrant counts his riches and gorges on the spoils of his bountiful greed, all the while accepting mercenary contracts from anyone with deep enough pockets. Further east, straddling the border between the mountains of Morn and Grand Cathay, is the narrow Worm Pass. Though far from home, Scrag the Slaughterer and his insane rabble have pilgrimaged from the west to pay tribute to the Great Maw, their violent god. Scrag drags behind him a mountain of bloody offerings to feed the beast in exchange for sinister rewards. Bordering these terrible mountains are the isolated lands of Grand Cathay. Past the Warpstone Desert in the heart of the wastelands of Jinshin, Zhao Ming defends Hanyu Port from brazen ogres and burrowing Skaven. It is the duty of the dragon siblings to maintain the harmony between yin and yang. Doing so will ensure Grand Cathay's strength and prosperity. On the most eastern edge of Grand Cathay is the capital city of the Celestial Loyalists, Wei Jin, above which hangs the Celestial City, home of the Dragon Emperor. With the turn of the Wujing Compass, the Dragon Emperor's children can carve out Cathay's fate, economic powerhouse or machine of war. The compass decides. The Great Bastion snakes and weaves across miles of country, physically separating Grand Cathay from the chaos wastes beyond. For centuries has this wall stood firm, repelling legions upon legions of twisted demons and foul chaos worshippers. The Cathayans must remain vigilant, for the threat of invasion is ever growing. Past the lands of stone and steel is Gunpowder Road, home of Nangao and Miaoying. From here, the Storm Dragon rules the northern provinces and garrisons the Great Bastion. To fund such a task, she dispatches caravans along the Ivory Road, trading with distant lands beyond the mountains. Hers is the task of unending stewardship, for if the Bastion falls, it's the people who suffer.
I remember the Kartoba, an island in a dune sea. I remember the Guide Stone, the Diamond Shoals, the Sisters of Balcora spinning 100 billion stars, the Song of the Core. I remember opening the gates. Was it so long ago? No, not so long. But not long enough.
It was 1944. Our orders were to liberate the Italian city of Gaeta. Taking the beach was our first objective. Shells were raining down on us as we rushed toward the German fortifications. The German bunkers were overlooking the entire beach. And once we were in range, we hit them from both sides. Once the first bunker collapsed, the defense opened up. After securing the beach, we were told to take a nearby Flak 88. Blowing up the artillery was the only way we could hold our position. We accomplished our mission, but not without losses. And this long day had just begun. While we led the main front, they dropped in paratroopers to stop any German reinforcements. They never saw them coming.
Cut him down! Covering fire! Take out that target!
Caught in the open, they never stood a chance. The outskirts of the city were now ours. We set up a forward base, urgently building a triage center for the wounded. We rallied together and prepared for the final assault. We made our way toward the city square. They were expecting us, but we were one step ahead of them. Even with the help from the British, we knew this was going to be an uphill fight. German troops were gathered in the main square. We didn't expect that level of resistance. Under heavy fire, buildings collapsing around us, and for a while, they had the upper hand. But we kept on pushing. We managed to hold the position long enough for air support to arrive. The city was ours, but our fight in Italy had only just begun.